Papa John's Cubs pregame live from the Crosstown Cup.
Well, these are fun games. You try to go about them like they're like it's any other game, but clearly there's a little more to it. It's fun. The whole city gets into it, and it's always fun to be a White Sox player over at Wrigley.
Welcome in on Papa John's Cubs pregame live. We are outside near the famous red marquee and the Ernie Banks statue on Clark and Addison. Cubs and White Sox shift from the south side to the north side. Game 3 yesterday, a rain out will have to be made up at a different date, and they'll close it out tomorrow again with a 1:20 first pitch. I'm David Kaplan, Todd Hollingsworth, Belton Bill Melton here with you. All right, let's talk about John Danks. He makes a triumphant return off of shoulder surgery. The last time he pitched before the surgery was against the Cubs. What do you expect out of him today? A good hot day to pitch.
Well, surprisingly, in his first start, he was pretty efficient. He didn't walk a lot of people. And before he left, and even in AAA in his rehab cap, he was actually having trouble finding home plate. And that was almost the same way in spring training, but he didn't have much velocity. So I think each start he takes, he'll get a little better velocity. I think what he has to do today, though, is kind of work with that changeup, because that makes his fastball look a little better than 89 or 90. So if he has that change, he could be pretty tough. If he doesn't, they could unload on him.
All right, before we hear from Holly about the Cubs' struggles against left-handers, time for our Comcast Business Edge. Comcast Business Edge is sports at the speed of business. And we look at John Danks' career at Wrigley. Confides have been very friendly to him. 2-0 in 3 starts, 18 punch-outs, just 1 measly walk, and a sparkling 0.93 ERA. Comcast Business Edge, again, is sports at the speed of business. All right, Holly, the Cubs have struggled against left-handers. They have some good right-hand hitters in the lineup. Why?
Well, you know what about this lineup? They're very good fastball hitting team. Righty, lefty. Great point by Belton Bill right there talking about that changeup today. John Danks, if he has it, it could be a problem for the Cubs. They've been swinging the bat better, not having nearly as much trouble. We saw a little bit of this yesterday, some of the damage against Chris Sale on the slider, not so much the changeup, but again, a very aggressive fastball hitting team for the Cubs, and ultimately, I think lefties change speeds to the right-handed hitters, thus issues.
All right, Scott Feldman will pitch for the Chicago Cubs, and after a rough start to his Cubs career in early April, he has been outstanding. Very, very good at not walking people. Not a big strikeout guy, but keeping the ball down.
Yeah, he's done a fantastic job. The fastball-cutter combination, setting up the curveball and the splitting. He's had all 4 pitches working, living on the corners, and again, being really aggressive with his fastball, changing it up slightly with the cutter, and being efficient. Cap on top of it, he's swinging that bat.
What do you expect out of Feldman? He's not a hard thrower.
Perfect guy to throw against the White Sox, is they are a good fastball hitting team. What makes them have trouble is if a guy's got a little bit of a cutter. A little bit of a cutter, they can't sit on the fastball. They don't hit the off-speed stuff really well. So I look for Feldman. If he's throwing a lot of strikes, he's around the plate, he could be really tough on his White Sox lineup.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how these 2 lineups match up. The weather totally different. Monday, very cold. Yesterday, warmer with rain. And now we've got sunny blue skies, an absolutely hot day here. Mid-80s weather at Wrigley Field as the Cubs and the White Sox will shift the scene again from the south side to the north side. We welcome in the general manager of the Chicago Cubs, Jed Hoyer. Jed, thank you for being here.
How you doing?
You guys, you and Theo have been here with your team now in your 2nd season. What of the organization do you hang your hat on and go, you know what, I feel better about that than I did the day we got here?
Well, I think, first of all, starting pitching, I think, has been really solid this year. You know, obviously, Edwin hasn't, lived up to expectations yet. We're very confident that he will. But I think that you look at the rest of the starting rotation, I think it's been really solid. You know, turning Samardzija into a starter, acquiring Travis Wood. I think we've done a good job with Mahalm, done a good job with Feldman. So I think we've done, given the state of starting pitching when we got here, I think we've done a good job acquiring those guys, and hopefully we can continue to do that.
Jed, Starlin Castro is coming up on game number 500 in his young career. I talk about as a player, that's a big number. You've played a little bit, you played a while. How would you assess Starlin Castro's progression so far?
I think he continues to be a work in progress. You know, there's times when he shows you superstar tools. There's times he still does things that can frustrate you. But I think, he's he's a 23-year-old guy who, you know, he can hit for average. I think the power will come. And you know, I think the best is yet to come for Starlin Castro, and I like the fact that we're gonna have a lot of young players around him coming up. I think soon enough he'll develop into a leader of those guys, and I think with that leadership, I think you'll see some of his game tighten up a little bit.
Okay, you talked about how fragile pitching is. You've said that a number of times. Today you learned that Kyuji Fujikawa done for a year with Tommy John surgery. Arodys Vizcaíno had to have a clean out. He's not gone forever, but he is gone for 6 to 8 weeks. You have to keep adding, as Theo said, waves of pitching. The draft is coming up. How is the pitching depth, not just for the second pick?
Yeah, it's solid. You know, we'll take a lot of pitchers, you know, for sure. I think every draft we have will take a ton of arms. You know, that's the weakness of our system. I really like our young position playing group. It's a little bit young in the minor leagues, but it's very deep. You know, the more pitching we can add, the better. You know, the St. Louis Cardinals already, they've lost Mott this year. They lost Garcia. They've lost Westbrook. They've had a bunch of injuries. It doesn't affect them. They got tons of pitching behind it. You know, they can bring up a guy like Lyons. They've got Shelby Miller. They got Rosenthal. They've got Carlos Martinez. They have waves and waves of pitching, and it won't happen this year or next year, but we keep doing it every single draft. We'll get there.
Jed, is that your vision? Like, how do you handle a bullpen? How do you manage a bullpen? It's been a bit of an issue this year, and you've had some bumps down there and putting it together. But when you develop this vision for the future, how do you go about putting together a bullpen? Is it through free agency? Is it through the system? And how do you kind of keep rolling with the punches? You
know, the bullpen is by far the most volatile thing on any team. You know, I think you look at the Pittsburgh Pirates this year. You know, why are they so good? You know, Melanson and Grilli have been unbelievable the entire season. You know, I think if you had said 2 years ago, hey, Melanson and Grilli are going to be totally dominant for the Pirates, you would have, you know, been talked off a ledge. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the nature of bullpens. You know, when I was in San Diego, we had this dominant bullpen in 2010. You know, Heath Bell was acquired as a small trade, almost a waiver claim. You know, Mike Adams was a waiver claim. You know, Luke Gregerson was a second player in a tiny trade. Those three guys, you know, you don't usually acquire your bullpen guys through like high in the draft. They're normally guys you find on the waiver wire. They're normally guys that are you know, failed starters. I think the bullpen is the part of the team where you draft a ton of arms, and you hope that, you know, some of those guys become starting pitchers, and the failed starters, you know, end up becoming really good bullpen arms. But you know, I think of all the parts of the team, that's the part that kind of you develop last because it is the most volatile.
Okay. We appreciate you taking a couple minutes for us. We have to go out to the field. Chuck Garfien is on first base, and he's got the White Sox side of things. Chuck?
Hey, Cap, can tell you this, it's hot and humid here inside the ballpark, so that could play into the game in some fashion here this afternoon. For John Danks, this is his second start since having shoulder surgery, recovering from that. He gave up 3 runs to the Marlins, got a no decision, was in position to get the victory, but the White Sox would like to see him be pitching more effectively and have better command of his pitches. And what's interesting about all this of him pitching here today is that just over a year ago, May 19th, he pitched 6 1/3 scoreless innings against the Cubs here at Wrigley. Who would have thought that that would be his last start of that season, and would take a year for him to come back and pitch again in the major leagues? He has certainly gone full circle in his injury journey.
I hadn't thought about it like that. You know, just really focus on trying to win a ball game now. You know, I think you know, the last start was the one that, you know, I got to say, you know, I made my comeback and you know, go through all that. You know, and now forward, you know, I'm hoping to be looked at and thought of as just, you know, another pitcher in the rotation. You know, I've pitched enough games over there that I'm sure I've run into one, but yeah, it just puts more emphasis on keeping the ball down and letting the guys in the infield do some work for me. But yeah, I mean, obviously as a pitcher, we'd prefer it to be blowing in, and that changes the dimensions of that ballpark a lot.
He's pitching, so it's just one of those, you just kind of see how it goes when he's out there, but you know, there's no parameters on him of pitch counts or anything like that. He's just one of our starters in the rotation, and you go from there.
Danks 3-1 in his career against the Cubs with an ERA just over 2. One guy who plays very well against the Cubs, specifically here at Wrigley Field, is Adam Dunn. In 72 career games, he's got 27 home runs here at Wrigley Field with 48 RBIs. He is in a 2-for-29 slump. He'd like to break out of it here today. I asked him what is it about this park that he hits so well in, and he said because one reason he sees the ball well, and the other thing is he gets an added boost of adrenaline because the fans are so close. Cubs-Sox series, that's going to to help. There'll be a lot of people in the park here this afternoon. That'll do it from inside. Let's go back outside Wrigley Field. Back over to Cap.
All right, thank you, Chuck. Now, the Cubs got some disturbing news today about their bullpen. Already thin bullpen. Kyuji Fujikawa done for the year, gone for 8 to 12 months at least with Tommy John surgery. Had forearm problems twice. That can be a precursor to an elbow injury, and after having an MRI yesterday, was told he has an ulnar collateral tear. For more on Fujikawa's injury, Luke Stockmeyer is at third base.
Cap, Kyuji Fujikawa was finally pitching the way he wanted to in the major leagues. Now he's got the long road back from Tommy John surgery. Said it's the first big injury of his entire baseball career. It means we're going to see a lot more of Carlos Marmol in setup situations, but a lot of players are going to have to step up in that Cubs bullpen.
We all know, we've talked about it before, is depth is what, you know, you need to have in the game, and everybody's got their problems, everybody's got their injuries, and obviously we just, you know, got hit with a big blow, you know, so other people just have to step up and fill those roles and do the best we can.
There's a, you know, a flow to a whole team. You know, unfortunately with all the injuries that we've had, it definitely disrupts that rhythm. You know, so hopefully we can overcome that and get ourselves in a groove and allow us to get some victories.
Fujikawa says he has no reason to wonder why it happened to him. He says injuries just happen. Meanwhile, Cap, coming up later, we're going to hear from Jeff Samardzija. A lot of these baseball players today will be going and watching hockey later tonight. Both teams represented at the Blackhawks game. Jeff Samardzija is a huge hockey fan. We'll hear from him later on.
All right, Luke, thank you very much. All right, we've got to take our first time out here. You're going to learn about the famous Red Marquee on our pregame show. We'll get Bill and Todd's keys and a whole lot more. So stick around. Papa John, Cubs pregame live rolls on, and we are, let's call it about 37 and a half minutes by the time we get done with this little tease. Order your pizza, papajohns.com. Great lunch, great Chicago baseball coming up here on CSN.
The Crosstown Cup on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you by The Great Escape. Escape to your backyard this summer. Save on name brand patio collections, jacuzzi hot tubs, Weber grills, gazebos, and a huge selection of family-sized pools. Only at The Great Escape.
Escape to your backyard this summer with double discount days at The Great Escape. Save $1,000 on a 21-foot pool with package, now just $19.99, including free installation and our clean water guarantee with a free Nature 2 auto sanitizer. Enjoy a no-work, all-fun summer. Check out our new line of semi-in-ground pools on sale now. And don't miss sale prices on play sets and Goldrilla basketball hoops.
Escape your everyday, shop The Great Escape.
Every inch, every minute, every second, we chip away, making the colors of earth and sunset skies into rich interior accents, or putting the beauty of a forest in the palm of your hands. It will take you to another place, wherever you happen to be. This is the new 2014 Jeep Grand Cherokee. It is the best of what we're made of. Well-qualified lessees can lease the 2014 Grand Cherokee Laredo 4x4 for $359 a month.
Right now, save big on beautiful kitchen and bath remodels from Galaxy. Just $49 installed. Call or visit GalaxyHome.com today.
773-783-8300. Call Galaxy.
Don't take your eyes for granted. Trust them to Pearl Vision. For a limited time, buy one pair of glasses or prescription sunglasses and get another pair for free. Pearl Vision. Caring for eyes since 1961.
If you want the best of baseball all season long, Xfinity from Comcast gives you the best seat in the house. With MLB Network, you get live games 4 nights a week, plus 24/7 insider coverage and live look-ins every night. This is MLB Network on Xfinity. This is awesome. Sign up for the Xfinity HD Preferred XF Triple Play with MLB Network or ask about other bundles starting at only $99 a month for 12 months. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
Switch to TCF Bank and start saving today. TCF Bank. Surprisingly simple.
Cubs and White Sox tee it up for 2 consecutive afternoon games on the north side of the greatest city in the world. Cubs won the opener last night. The game a washout on the south side. They'll close it out tomorrow as they play for bragging rights of the Crosstown Cup here on Comcast Sportsnet. All right, let's take a look at the White Sox starting lineup for manager Robin Ventura. Diaz, Ramirez, Rios, Dunn, Viciedo, Gillespie, Keppinger, Flowers, and Johnny Danks. Thoughts?
I talk about it all the time about the only guy that's been consistent is Alex Rios. Adam Dunn, I'd certainly like to see him going. I think he understands that, he hits pretty well at Wrigley Field, so I think that's why he's probably in there instead of Paul Konerko, because Paul, is coming out of a little bit, but that lineup right there, that's pretty much struggled the whole year.
Holly, let's take a look at the Cubs starting lineup for manager Dale Swain. The White Sox are going to trot out a lineup to battle Scott Feldman. For the Cubs, DeJesus, Castro, Rizzo, Soriano, Hairston, Navarro, Valbuena, Barney, and all of a sudden slugging Scott Feldman.
Slugging Scott Feldman, it's good. You know what? It's your right-handed lineup plus David DeJesus. You want to know why? Numbers against John Danks, 8 for 23 in his career, 348 batting average, 5 RBIs. He's had a good run. He's set the table. I think he's really going to be key today. Hopefully he gets off to a great start, has a good game, that good first at bat, and the Cubs follow suit.
David DeJesus, we've seen him sit against some lefties. He's starting against a lefty today. Yeah. You were a left-hand hitter. Did you have a problem hitting against lefties?
Well, sometimes it can get complicated. If you don't get those at-bats early in your career, if you don't develop it that way, it can become an issue. It becomes more of a mind game, a mental game, meaning when I first started out, I was given those chances. In my 3rd and 4th year, they were taken away a little bit because maybe the production wasn't there or they had a better option. But every time I was given an opportunity after that, I tried to do too much. David DeJesus doesn't do that. Hopefully, again, like I said, he sets the table today and they get off and rolling.
75% of the pitchers in the American National League are right-handed, so that's why left-handers don't see as many left-handers as right-handers see right-handers. And generally, a guy that leads the league in hitting is always left-handed, and that's one of the reasons. You pick up the ball a little bit quicker, but, when you talk about DeJesus, he used to hit as well with Kansas City, so I'm not really surprised he's not in the lineup the way he played against us when he was with Kansas City.
All right, time to tease the Wrigley Marquee package that you're going to love when we come back. The famous Wrigley Marquee. What's the story behind it? You'll hear it here on Papa John's Cubs pregame live right after this.
For a limited time at Luna, buy 1 room, get your 2nd room free. Plus, get up to $500 off. At Luna, we work for you.
773-202 Luna.
Nobody does what Papa John's does.
Now, every day after the Northsiders score 3 runs, buy any pizza online and get 1 free. Available online only at papajohns.com with promo code NORTHSIDE. Order now at papajohns.com.
It's your first time here, and 80% of the bar is staring at you. Good thing you invited Tommy, who triples your street cred. You order 3 Modelo Especials, earning 7 slow nods from the crowd. You're 20% more confident. Then you remember your ace in the hole, Dylan, and his encyclopedic knowledge of garage rock. Nailed it. Modelo Especial. Discover the Especial.
T-Mobile presents the simple choice.
With T-Mobile, I can walk out with the new Samsung Galaxy S4 for way less than at AT&T. We have a big family. T-Mobile.
Awesome. Well, now we'll all have the coolest phones in school. It almost makes up for the social stigma of living in a shoe. We live in a shoe.
Choose to spend less upfront at activation for your new Samsung Galaxy S4 at T-Mobile.
Don't miss Blaine's Farm & Fleet's huge 4-day super sale this Thursday through Sunday. You'll find incredible deals on hundreds of items throughout the store. Buy 1 8-quart bag of Miracle-Gro Moisture Control Potty Mix for $4.99, get 1 free. Save $60 on a Sun Dolphin 8-foot Aruba kayak, only $119.99. And this Duracraft 122-piece mechanics tool set, now $39.99. Plus, you'll find many more great values. Thursday through Sunday, only at Blaine's Farm & Fleet.
Get in front of your best deal at Riverfront Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in the North Aurora Auto Mall.
Looking for a sedan with power, passion, and performance? Check out this new 2013 Dodge Dart. Right now, you can just sign and drive for only $199 a month. No first month's payment, no down payment, no security deposit.
We're doing it right, and we're doing it for you.
At Riverfront Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram, or at buyatriverfront.com.
Sportsnet Central every night at 6:30, 10, 10:30, and midnight on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend.
Famous director to the Stars, Terry Cortez, working overtime, getting a shot of Clark Street right outside the ballpark. You see the Cubby Bear. Fans from both sides of the city streaming in for the Cubs and the White Sox. 121st pitch with Len and JD right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Now, what's the story behind the famous Wrigley Marquee? Take a look.
Wrigley Field, home of the Chicago Cubs. I mean, it's one of the most celebrated sign icons in all of American sports. Beyond its just landmark status is one of the great icons here in Chicago. I mean, basically it's the North Pole, if you will, for this community as well as Chicago to say, hey, this is where legendary baseball began. It's where it continues now, and it's going to happen for the next 100 years of Cubs baseball.
The sign has always been here. It's been here since 1934, so anyone who has gone to a Cub game since then very likely has come to the corner of Clark and Addison, stood here, had their picture taken with the sign right over their shoulder. If you came to Wrigley in the 60s, even well into the 70s, the ballpark was kind of a drab, if I can say drab, kind of a drab blue. Not real pleasant. The sign, in many ways, had been washed out by the rest of the surroundings, so the red definitely popped out. In addition, the sign invited you to the home of the Cubs, not the Chicago Cubs. That wasn't changed until a couple years later. And they did that also because they can welcome you not only home of the Cubs, but also of the Chicago Bears. When the Northwestern played here, they actually painted the sign, I think they called it Valspar purple. And they had a big ceremony with it. They had the first brush stroke going on. It was a big to-do when they painted the sign purple. The scrolling message board, that was in the 1980s. That actually was sort of the start of the real popularity we know of today of the Marquee. Because no longer were you limited to just Cubs versus Brooklyn, May 17th. But now you can welcome the sponsors, you can wish people happy birthday.
Marriage proposals, congratulations for graduations and milestones. We're able to program these things. And as a nice added benefit, all that money goes to Cubs charities. So we charge about $500 for a message on the marquee. And people know that when they're celebrating some type of milestone, that they're actually helping charity, money that's going to go back out to the community. Between the baseball and the park itself, and obviously just the environment that's around Wrigley Field and Clark and Addison, we know that Wrigley Field Marquee has a lot to do in terms of the promotion and selling of Chicago. And because it's been featured in lots of movies and TV shows, we know that's pretty clear.
It's a checklist on the things to see in Chicago. It's part of it. It's iconic. It's like the Ivy. It's the scoreboard. If you're going to go to Wrigley Field, take a few minutes, meet your buddy out in front of the marquee, and get your picture taken.
All right, Cubs and White Sox just a little bit away from first pitch here on Papa John's Cubs pregame. When we come back, Bill Melton, Todd Hollinsworth give us their keys, and we pick our key performers. Stick around right here on Comcast Sportsnet.
Woo! Sign a waiver?
Waiver?
Two seats, one for you and one for racing legend Mario Andretti. The fastest seat in sports sweepstakes. Enter for a chance to start an IZOD IndyCar Series race at shophonda.com.
Imagine if Jason Duffner played his game like T1 from the phone company, moving up to 66 times slower than Comcast Business. Par 4s would become par 400s. It would be the longest round of golf ever. Fortunately, Jason is more like Comcast Business, moving at speeds up to 100 megabits per second.
Switch to Comcast Business today. Call 800-501-6000. Don't wait.
The warm weather is finally here. Get your backyard ready for summer fun during double discount days at The Great Escape. Save up to 50% on patio collections from the biggest brands. Plus, buy any 5 or 7-piece dining collection and get a free 9-foot umbrella. Patioscape your home with fire pits, grills, patio heaters, and more. Shade your patio with a retractable awning. Go from manual to motorized with a free motor. Only at The Great Escape.
Escape your everyday. Shop The Great Escape.
What's something that's slow that you wish was fast?
Turtle.
Really? A turtle?
Yeah.
And what about you?
I would rather be a slow turtle.
Well,
I know why. Because when you're slower, you won't have to get in the street as fast and get ran over.
But if you're a slow turtle and you're in the middle of the street, what happens? Austin? Exactly.
It's not complicated. Faster is better. And AT&T is the nation's fastest 4G LTE network.
Motor Trend asked people who aren't driving a Ford to take the EcoBoost Challenge. Ford Fusion with EcoBoost technology took on Honda and Toyota.
Ooh, baby. This is a 4-cylinder? 37 miles per gallon. That's awesome.
Assisted parking. This is amazing. I feel like I'm cheating on my Honda.
The power, the way it handles, in comparison to the Camry, is a lot better. It fits my personality. It's me.
Get a Ford Fusion with 0% financing for 60 months during the final days of the Ford EcoBoost Challenge.
All right, this may be a big game, but I'll tell you what. Tonight, Game 7, original 16, Blackhawks and Red Wings. Phenomenal job by the Cubs today to get Dennis Savard, the Hall of Famer, to sing the 7th inning stretch today. Get everybody revved up in Blackhawk mode. It's going to be a lot of fun tonight at the United Center. Don't forget, Sports Talk Live will come from the concourse at 5:30. Jeff Samardzija, huge hockey fan, grew up in the area. He will be among one of the several players who will be at the game tonight from both teams. Shark weighed in before the game with Luke about tonight's matchup.
I've probably been a bigger Blackhawks fan my whole life than really anything else. Bigger than the Bears, bigger than the Bulls or anyone. My dad was a big hockey guy. I got my Probert jersey all lined up, ready to go for tonight.
Probert, huh?
Yeah, man, absolutely. It's a real hawk right there.
So, who wins tonight? Game 7, this is it.
Oh, it's easy. The Blackhawks do. I was saying we should just run 4 guys out there, Taves, Kaner, Sharp, and Seabrook, and then just really even it up for the Red Wings. So, you know, I'm really looking for a big game. These guys come out in big games and play, you know, balls out all the time on big games. Game 7, you know, even during the year when they quote it as a big game, they come out and they play their butts off. So, you know, I'm expecting the place is going to be rocking tonight. I'm excited to get over there and, you know, get greased up a little bit and get ready for this game. Try and join the Blackhawks fans, you know, and really, you know, get the atmosphere going.
All right, don't forget tonight, as soon as it goes zeros, tune over. Blackhawks post-game live with Pat Boyle, Steve Conroy. You will get Coach Q's interviews, hear from the key players in the game, and find out all the inner workings and hopefully look ahead to a matchup in the Western Conference Finals, the defending Stanley Cup champion L.A. Kings. Tonight, as soon as it goes zeros, Bill Melton, your key to today's game.
You know, until John Danks gets his velocity back, the change is necessary. He really needs to set up that fastball with his changeup. So if he has his change, he could be tough on him.
How about for you, Holly?
Well, I guess it's all about John Danks. I'm thinking be aggressive for the Cubs today. I really think it's a great opportunity against a John Danks fresh off the disabled list, kind of finding his way back to pounce early. The Cubs at times let starts like this get away. I want to see them come out today, be real aggressive early in this ballgame, hopefully get a lead, turn it over to Feldman, and hopefully pair that with a Blackhawks win. A Cubs win and a Blackhawks win.
All right, we play this game called Key Performers. Who would you like to choose as your key performer?
Well, unless you guys are leading me down that wrong path, I'm going to have to take Adam Dunn after those 22 home runs at Wrigley Field.
How about that?
That's the information I got, so I got to go with that.
And a 1,050 OPS.
Oh,
pretty good.
Scott Hairston, he's my guy. He's going to get it done today.
All right, there's a right-handed bat against the lefty John Danks. I'm going to go with a right-handed bat. I'm taking the guy who I think is the best lineup in the Cubs, best hitter in the Cubs lineup, Starlin Castro. Have a big day today, and we'll see if the Cubs can win. We'll have the post-game show for you immediately following, as Eddie Olczyk would say. So thank you for joining us on Papa John's Cubs pregame live. Thank you to all the great personnel from the Cubs for hosting us out here on the Marquee. Have a wonderful afternoon. Baseball is next. We send it off to the great broadcast team of Len Casper and Jim DeShays in the booth over Wrigley.
All right, Cap, Holly, thanks very much. Nice weather today. Hopefully we can avoid the rain, and the Cubs looking for their second straight win over the White Sox, even though they had a 2-0 lead last night.
Yeah, Edwin Jackson was throwing the ball as well as we've seen him throw it all year long, but all for naught as that game was washed out.
All right, the bad news today, Kyuji Fujikawa is going to have Tommy John surgery. He was on the DL for the second time due to a forearm strain, but probably the worst case possible, and you saw his final pitch at Cincinnati.
Yeah, you know, we heard forearm strain, second stint to the DL, but the MRI came back, said he had a tear. Tommy John surgery, you're typically looking at about an 18-month rehab. Some guys make it back a little bit more quickly than that. Hopefully that will be the case for Fujikawa, signed for this year and next with a club option for 2015. So his future a little bit up in the air with the Cubs. 12 games this year, 1-1 with a 5.25 ERA.
And the strange thing about it, JD, I thought he threw the ball a lot better when he came back from the first DL stint.
I agree. I thought there was a little bit more life on the fastball, and ball was coming out of his hand cleanly. Unfortunately, we're not going to see that again for a good long while now.
Let's hear from his manager, Dale Swaim, on what's next now with the bullpen without one of their big setup guys.
Yeah, I mean, he'll be the 7th, 8th guy, depending on the lineup, him and Russell. And you know, like I said, with Dolis's, power arm, and, Villanueva can pitch back there because of this mix of his pitches. So we have some guys that can, but it's going to be a mix and match in that 7th and 8th inning with the lead.
So Carlos Marmol probably now gets some more responsibility. He's kind of bounced all the way around, but Rafael Dolis is an interesting guy. The stuff is there, it's just the command, right?
Yeah, two things I'm interested to see. What role Villanueva takes on, because he really hasn't been used much since moving to the bullpen. And Dolis, can he figure it out with that power sinker? If he can find the zone enough. I mean, he doesn't have to paint corners, but if he can throw that pitch in the strike zone enough, he's got a chance to be pretty good.
Scott Feldman will take the ball today. Lost his last start, hit a home run, though, and hopefully just a blip on the radar in terms of the pitching last time out.
That has been so much more good than bad from Scott Feldman. That one rough inning last time out, hung a breaking ball to Ryan Hannigan, but other than that, a pretty solid performance. You saw it with the bat. He's been a revelation swinging the bat, as most of the Cubs starting pitchers have been. He's been really good here at Wrigley Field, so hopefully he can dial up another good one here this afternoon.
And an intriguing matchup. John Danks, a left-hander, making just his second start coming off shoulder surgery last August. JD, these guys were drafted by the Rangers in 2003. Danks won in the first round, Feldman in the 30th.
Yeah, Danks has been very good against the Cubs in his career, really good in this ballpark. His last start last year was here against the Cubs, and Feldman, obviously, with his time in the American League, he's seen a lot of the White Sox as well.
All right, Patrick Mooney, our Cubs insider, coming up. We'll talk more about the injury bug that has unfortunately zapped the Cubs here lately. More to come. We get you set for the Sox and Cubs from Wrigley.
When the Northsiders score 3, get one free. After the Northsiders score 3 runs, buy any pizza online and get the second one free online at papajohns.com with promo code Northside.
Nobody does what Papa John's does.
Now, every day after the Northsiders score 3 runs, buy any pizza online and get one free. Available online only at papajohns.com with promo code Northside. Order now at papajohns.com.
This Cubs injury report is brought to you by ATI Physical Therapy. Taking physical therapy to a higher level. Ask your doctor about ATI Physical Therapy. Get there.
Switch to TCF Bank and start saving today. TCF Bank. Surprisingly simple.
If you want the best of baseball all season long, Xfinity from Comcast gives you the best seat in the house. With MLB Network, you get live games 4 nights a week, plus 24/7 insider coverage and live look-ins every night. This is MLB Network on Xfinity. This is awesome. Sign up for the Xfinity HD Preferred XF Triple Play with MLB Network, or ask about other bundles starting at only $99 a month for 12 months. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
You're watching Comcast Sportsnet, part of the NBC Sports Group.
His legs are gone. X is paralyzed from the diaphragm down.
she missed his brainstem by that much. I'm told that the text was, "I'm on my way." Was the text that important? That would be my question for her.
Monster waves, too fast, too scary, until an ingenious idea changed everything. Tow-in surfing. Courageous thinking, it's how we engineered the Mazda 3. Skyactiv technology gives it 40 highway MPG. This is the Mazda way, and this is the Mazda 3. What do you drive? Just announced. Get 0% APR plus 1,000 Memorial Day APR cash on select 2013 Mazdas.
Sports Talk Live, tonight at 5:30 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Welcome back to Wrigley Field. Coming up, our Cubs insider, Patrick Mooney. And he's brought to you by Nationwide Insurance agent Jeff Vukovich. Visit jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side. And Patrick, the story of the day, Kyuji Fujikawa will have Tommy John surgery. I don't believe there's any date set just yet. They're going to let the swelling go down, but as JD said, he's going to be out a while.
Yeah, this is one of those things where it's almost kind of that ticking time bomb of a pitcher's arm. And Fuji said that he had never had a major injury before in his career. The Cubs say he wasn't damaged goods when they signed him out of Japan, but at a certain point, you know, when you save over 200 games, make almost 600 appearances in Japan, you know, that just takes its toll. And the Cubs are hoping that, you know, he can still be a difference maker for them, but it won't be this summer, maybe later next summer.
Let's hear from Cubs general manager Jed Hoyer on coming back from Tommy John surgery.
I think some of those things cluster at times, and you know, we haven't had the greatest luck on these things. But at the same time, I would say like the success rate versus like guys having setbacks, I think is a little bit different. Guys do have, you know, I think we do get into a routine of assuming that every Tommy John is, you know, 12 months and the guy comes back and he's feeling great, and that does happen, and that's what you hope for. But at the same time, some guys do have setbacks along the way. Every guy heals differently, and you know, I think with all these guys, you know, with Baker, with this guy, you know. With Fujikawa, we're all hopeful that these guys will you know, recover well and pitch well for us.
So that's the big story at the big league level right now. But the other story came out yesterday, and that is Arodys Vizcaíno, who is coming back from Tommy John surgery, had arthroscopic surgery on his elbow.
Yeah, he's shut down for about 6 more weeks now, and I think the best case scenario when the Cubs made him the centerpiece of that Paul Maholm deal was maybe around the All-Star break this year, maybe after another trade deadline where he could slide into their rotation, because they think he's a big-time arm. They love the way he kind of went to work in Arizona, which is obviously not easy to do. But now he's kind of set back, maybe Arizona Fall League. And, you know, the logic behind these deals is the 95% success rate and how predictable these rehabs are. But the Cubs have kind of had a string of bad luck here, and that maybe Vizcaíno could be a factor now in 2014.
Yeah, and also with the draft coming up, I know Phil Rogers wrote about this, does it affect how the Cubs look at pitcher versus third baseman with the risk of injuries?
I don't know necessarily at the top, but clearly the Cubs are definitely going to target power arms again in this draft. As Jed said, you have to acquire as many as possible because of the attrition. I don't think they'd overreact at the top of the draft. I think if it is a pitcher, it's Appel or Gray, and he would have to clearly demonstrate that he's better than the position player because it is such a riskier proposition.
All right, Patrick, thanks for the time as always, and make sure you check out his work, csnchicago.com. JD will rejoin me, and we are just moments away from the Sox and the Cubs. The Crosstown Cup continues on the north side.
Oh, we single-handedly won that Cubs game, without a doubt. None of that happens without us. Bottom of the ninth. What was the score? 4-3?
No, it was 3-2.
3-2.
Cubs are losing.
Cubs are down 3-2. I'm trying to get this "Let's Go Cubs" chant going, trying to get the crowd into it.
It wasn't the right time.
I know. That's
you
what
would tell me. That's why you're terrible at starting chants, because it's all timing.
Anyway, Todd Walker comes up with a huge pinch hit single to put runners on first and second. This guy stands up.
Just stands up
And what'd you do?
Let's go, Cubs! On the second chant, the entire stadium is right there with him.
Ben brought the energy into Wrigley Field. I mean, this is what the Cubs needed. Michael Barrett is coming up next, and he hits a ball to the right field corner. The Cubs win on a 2-run double from Barrett. All started from
Let's Go Cubs.
This guy's chant on a simple chant.
Let's go, Cubs! Let's go, Cubs! Let's go, Cubs!
We single-handedly won a Cubs game.
Single-handedly, tri-handedly won the game.
Because it was the right time.
If you want the best of baseball all season long, Xfinity from Comcast gives you the best seat in the house. With MLB Network, you get live games 4 nights a week, plus 24/7 insider coverage and live look-ins every night. This is MLB Network on Xfinity. This is awesome. Sign up for the Xfinity HD Preferred XF Triple Play with MLB Network, or ask about other bundles starting at only $99 a month for 12 months. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
It's your first time here, and 80% of the bar is staring at you. Good thing you invited Tommy, who triples your street cred. You order 3 Modelo Especials, earning 7 slow nods from the crowd. You're 20% more confident. Then you remember your ace in the hole, Dylan, and his encyclopedic knowledge of garage rock. Nailed it. Modelo Especial. Discover the Especial.
Bonjour, je t'adore, c'est aujourd'hui et toujours, maman. How about me?
Here's to a life less routine. The more connected, athletic, seductive Lexus RX. Lease the 2013 RX 350 for $399 a month for 36 months, with $26.99 due at signing. See your Lexus dealer.
The Cubs bats have come alive, scoring a dozen runs in 2 games. More than enough support for Jeff Samardzija, who threw a shutout Monday on the south side. Washed out last night, the series moves crosstown to the north side this afternoon. The Crosstown Cup has moved 8 miles to the north to beautiful Wrigley Field. Nice day for Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet. It's the Chicago Cubs playing host to the Chicago White Sox. Always great to have you with us. Jim DeShays, Len Casper. The Cubs washed out last night, leading 2-0 in the third, but none of that counts. What does count, however, is the Cubs have won 2 in a row, and they're scoring runs.
Yeah, swinging the bats pretty well over the last couple of ball games. The finale of the series in Cincinnati, then the first game of the series against the White Sox. They managed to score 12 runs on 19 hits in those 2 ball games. I don't know if 2 games makes a trend or not, but certainly is a good start. Soriano is heated up. Rizzo's recaptured a little magic in that swing, and Castro as well chiming in. How about Julio Borbon going deep the other night for the first time in a Cub uniform? So things on the upswing for these Cub hitters here recently.
Facing another left-handed starter today, John Danks with his second outing since coming back from shoulder surgery. Scott Feldman, Danks' minor league teammate with a Texas organization, will go for the Cubs. And the news of the day, Kyuji Fujikawa scheduled to have Tommy John surgery. So we're just about set for baseball, but first, let's send it down to the field for our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please rise. Kindly remove your caps and join Michael McDermott as he honors America with our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts guns we ward were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, it gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of thy brave?
The great Michael McDermott getting us set for Cubs baseball today, and the Cubs with 7 big runs and a shutout win Monday night. They're back home where they like scoring. Crosstown Cup action is next.
No one knows why it happened. After 23 years of tossing his socks on the floor, Jason Donahue had a realization that the hamper in his room was mere inches from the spot where he usually tossed his socks. So rather than leaving them on the floor again, Jason traveled the extra distance and dropped them in the hamper, proving one thing to his wife, Brenda. Anything is possible. Like with a new 4th of July millionaire raffle. A $500,000 winner each week and $2 million winners on the 4th.
Oh, she's gonna love this. Ow! Ow!
Next time, try this, the Champagne Lodge. With our private pool and whirlpool suites, on-site spa, and special occasion packages, you can be sure to give a gift that will create great memories.
Nice work.
Anytime.
Great day for a move.
Yeah, you want to help?
Nah, I'm good.
Hey, I still owe you that $500?
Yeah, and a lawnmower. You've got DirecTV.
Yeah.
Call them. They'll hook up your new pad with phone and super fast internet, and you can get that whole home DVR upgrade for free. I just saved you over $500. It's like you owe me now.
The Movers Deal. Call now to bundle, plus get our most advanced DVR upgrade for free.
Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. BMO Harris Bank, helping money make sense. BMO Harris Bank, NA member FDIC. AT&T Uverse. Visit att.com/freeyourtv. Rethink possible. Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com.
Great to be back here at Wrigley Field. And as I mentioned, the Cubs offensively have been a lot better at home than on the road, averaging almost 5 runs per game here at Wrigley as opposed to 3 per game on the road. They're here for the next 5, 2 against the White Sox. And then the Arizona Diamondbacks come in this weekend. And the Cubs should have the advantage here the next 2 days, JD, with the pitchers hitting. And Scott Feldman and Travis Wood each have homered already this season.
Yeah, and obviously the White Sox pitchers do not have a lot of experience in the batter's box, so slight edge maybe. Paul Konerko not in the lineup today as Adam Dunn gets a start at first base, so Robin Ventura has to make some adjustments as he comes over to a National League ballpark, does not have the DH. And as you mentioned, the Cubs very good in this ballpark so far this year in terms of runs scored.
Do not have a makeup date as of yet after the rainout last night. It was only the second all-time in this series dating back to 1997. The first rainout was at Wrigley Field back in 2009. Darwin Barney heading out to the field with a very special friend, 10-year-old Jack Foley. Great to see him here at the ballpark, heading out onto the diamond. with a Gold Glover. So let's check out the White Sox Southwest starting lineup that will face sinker baller Scott Feldman. De Aza, Ramirez, and Rios at the top. As JD mentioned, Adam Dunn gets the nod at first. No Paul Konerko. Vicieto in left. Gillespie at third. Jeff Keppinger back in the lineup at second. Tyler Flowers will catch for John Danks.
Cubs on defense this afternoon feature an outfield of Soriano, De Jesus, and Hairston. Luis Valbuena gets his first start since Sunday. He's at third. Castro short. Darwin Barney has handled 159 chances flawlessly. That's no big surprise. Anthony Rizzo is the first baseman, and Deanna Navarro does the catching this afternoon. Our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Mr. Scott Feldman. He's made 9 starts. He's got 4 wins, 4 losses, 1 no decision, a 2.80 ERA. He's 3-2 lifetime against the Sox. Last time he faced him was last July at Rangers Ballpark, and he was really good. 8 shutout innings over the White Sox in that ball game.
And if this looks familiar, it's because Tim Welke was behind the plate last night, even though the game did not count. So he didn't work the plate.
It never happened in the baseball statistical world. Nothing transpired last night over there at U.S. Cellular.
It's like a right to left wind and warm temperatures. Well, we got a lot of rain last night. I don't know about you, but I stepped into about a foot of water as I was getting into my car.
Yeah, it was about ankle. I got about ankle deep.
I think it was the right call to postpone that game. Unfortunately for the Cubs, they had a 2-0 lead, and Edwin Jackson was really dealing, but the baseball gods, the weather gods, said no. So it'll be De Aza to lead off against Feldman. Even though it didn't count, I will include the at-bats last night. The White Sox in this series, 3 out of 36 against Cubs starting pitching. And the Cubs bullpen should be rested and ready to go. They have not worked since Sunday in Cincinnati. And the first pitch is a sinker for a strike. Cubs are 22-23 against the White Sox here at home. Off the outside corner. Cubs knocked the Sox under 500 with that 7-0 win on Monday night. Perfect. 73 degrees. A little breeze off the lake. Slightly open stance for De Aza, which was right where Navarro wanted it. 2-2.
And one of the things Feldman has done really well this year against left-handed hitters, he's thrown a cutter that moves in on him, and then he'll throw that come on back 2-seam fastball that'll start at their hands and then run back to the inside corner.
Swung on and missed. Strike 3.
You got the sense there that De Aza was looking in with this kind of a weak swing at this fastball away. You see how the hips start to flare open as if he's trying to anticipate fastball in, and then a defensive swing just trying to get a piece to stay alive.
Now the shortstop, Alexei Ramirez. Feathered out into right for a base hit. So a 1-out base runner for Alex Rios.
This is a cut fastball sliding off the outside corner right off the end of the bat. A bit of good fortune here for Ramirez. Not solid contact, but he's got himself a knock.
Rios has faced Feldman a fair amount, 29 at bats, hitting .345 in his career.
Running game may be in play for the White Sox here today. Ramirez is 8 out of 9 in stolen bases.
There goes Ramirez, and Navarro could not get a handle on the ball, so no throw.
You just never really got a good grip on it, and you're better off eating it as opposed to trying to throw baseball when you don't have a good grip.
So Ramirez now 9 out of 10 stolen base chances. Second time the White Sox in this series, and I'm going to call it the whole week a series.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Have put a runner in scoring position.
Marge is so good the other night. One of the best games we've seen pitched all year. His outing, his complete game, plus the washout yesterday, really providing a needed break for the guys in the pen. He should be well rested and ready to rock and roll now.
Ground ball to third. It's picked up by Luis Valbuena. Ramirez is going to hold at second. So that's the second out, and it is Adam Dunn making his 24th start at first base. He and Paul Konerko shared time at first and the DH spot throughout the season.
Adam was joking the other day. He said, he goes, I'm the road first baseman. For whatever reason, he seems to get all the starts on the road.
Enjoyed Paul Konerko's comments about tonight's hockey game. He'll be there. A lot of players and staff members from both these teams will be rooting on the Hawks tonight.
Hockey game tonight?
Inside on Dunn.
Paula's up there. She's got her Blackhawk paint on her face, her Blackhawk gear.
Great sports day here in Chicago, starting with the Crosstown Cup, finishing with a big Game 7 tonight. Feldman's 1-0 is in there for a strike. You saw Dunn 43 career home runs against the Cubs. Only Albert Pujols with 53 has hit more against the Cubs among active players. And we'll see Big Albert next week.
You will. I won't.
That's right. You have I
got a graduation.
High school graduation to attend.
The Angels come here later in the year.
Get your fill of Mike Trout before it's all said and done. Ramirez, a runner at second, bottom of your screen, and the 2-1 is fouled off. 2-2.
Done 1 out of 7 in his career against Scott Feldman.
Pretty good, but Walke did not give him the high strike. Navarro tried to pull it down. Let's see what Pitch Tracks thought.
Pitch Tracks gives this pitch more than umpires do. A borderline high one goes in the zone but rarely gets called.
3-2 to Dunn. Swing and a miss to end the inning. 2 Ks for Feldman in the first. Cubs coming up against John Danks.
During Nissan's Sign and Drive event, get up to $1,000 holiday bonus cash on top of existing offers. Now, when you choose Nissan, all you need to lease is one of these.
I need a pen. Boom.
Shop at ChooseNissan.com.
Save big money during Menards' 11% sale.
Receive an 11% rebate on all your purchases all this week.
Tackle big cleaning jobs with Libman. Choose from 3 18-inch push brooms, $7 each after 11% rebate. Remove water hardness and reduce chlorine with Water Boss. This 38,000 grain water softener is $439 after 11% rebate.
Hurry in now and save big money.
With an 11% rebate on everything in the store.
Save big money at Menards.
T-Mobile presents the simple choice.
Okay, so what you're saying is that with AT&T, we get the same old network that can get congested, right, buddy? This one can be slow.
Why are you talking to me like that?
Or there's this one. T-Mobile, it's less likely to get slowed down because you get 50% more bandwidth, right? Okay, so that's a 50.
Okay, we choose T-Mobile.
This one?
You get that one, the one I pointed to.
You see? The monster chose this one?
Oh, we're gonna use that word. All right. Okay, let's go there. Wow.
During Nissan's Sign and Drive event, get up to $1,000 holiday bonus cash on top of existing offers. Now, when you choose Nissan, all you need to lease is one of these.
I need a pen. Boom.
Shop at ChooseNissan.com.
Interesting lineup today, written out by Dale Swaim against a lefty. We'll tell you why he's got a lot of lefties in there here in a second. Brought to you by Southwest. DeJesus with his first start since Sunday. Castro, Rizzo, Soriano. Hairston gets a nod in right. The switch hitting catcher Navarro. Valbuena at third. Barney at second. And another lefty, Scott Feldman, the pitcher.
White Sox defensively, brought to you by Great Escape. Viciedo's the left fielder. Diaz in center. Alex Rios patrols right field. Gillespie, Ramirez on the left side of the infield. Keppinger and Dunn on a somewhat range-limited right side of the White Sox infield. Tyler Flowers is the catcher. John Danks, the Lexus starting pitcher for the Pale Hose today. He's made just one start. Shoulder surgery last year. Command and control guy. He's not going to blow you away. 89, 90 miles an hour the fastball. Changeup, probably his best pitch. Throws a cut fastball and a curveball as well.
28 years old, 6'1", 215. John William Danks, and DeJesus sends one deep to left. Viciedo back on the warning track, and he can't make the catch. It's off his glove, and DeJesus will pull up at second.
Well, twisting and turning, and you knew he was in trouble when he spun back the other way. And high sky, tough wind, but certainly a ball that should have been caught. That's got to be an E7.
And it is.
Big early break here for the Cubs. See if they can cash in.
Here's Castro. Back-to-back two-hit games Sunday and Monday. You mentioned Danks and his changeup. If you look at his career splits, they're pretty even, but actually left-handed batters slightly better in terms of the OPS. Against Danks and righties.
Yeah, and that changeup's so good to right-handed hitters. He can get into a groove, cutter in, changeup away to right-handed hitters. So I think it makes sense to put a couple lefties in there to upset that rhythm a little bit. And frankly, there's the good changeup there, and Castro doing a nice job not chasing him. You know, Dale, the way his roster is configured right now, he's got to play some lefties anyway. So he picks and chooses based on history against a guy or certain style of pitcher. DeJesus had good numbers against Danks, so he gets to start today. Valbuena hasn't started since Sunday.
3-0.
Danks is one of those guys that just has that nasty breaking ball that eats up lefties, or an arm angle like Chris Sale, who we saw last night. I mean, you prefer to sit all your lefties against Sale if you could.
.89 on the fastball for a strike.
57 and 60 in his career here at Wrigley. 2-0 with an .093.
Well, his final start before he went down last season was in May, and it was a win. 6 2/3, no runs on May 19th. And then he would sit out the rest of the year. Eventually would have surgery on his left shoulder in August.
Threw the ball well that day, obviously, but you can tell by looking at his numbers last year, his strikeout rate was down. Usually that's an indication that something's going on.
3-2 to Castro. Base hit into right. DeJesus will be held with nobody out. Cubs threatening early.
Against a guy with a good changeup, a lefty with a good changeup, it's a good idea for right-handed hitters to think middle of the diamond and the other way, so they're less likely to be fooled by that off-speed pitch. That's just a great swing of the bat by Castro. Good read, good break by DeJesus, but ball hit too sharply to send him home.
Rizzo with 6 hits over his last 3 games, including 4 doubles and a triple. Followed a long hitless stretch that reached 23 at bats at one point. Knocked down by Flowers, and Castro will hold.
It's been kind of an interesting run for Rizzo here. Be scorching hot and then just completely slam on the brakes and not do anything for 5 or 6 days, and then boom, banging the ball all over the park again.
Slide step, and the 1-0 is low on a fastball. 2 balls, no strikes. Don Cooper looks on. That was a changeup, and Rizzo was way out in front.
Pretty impressive left-on-left changeup there from Danks in a hitter's count.
Danks wanted that one. 3-1.
2008, 9, and 10. Danks very solid in this White Sox rotation. Double-digit wins each of those 3 years. A 15-game winner in 2010. Signed a 5-year deal prior to last year.
Bounce to first. Dunn gets an out at second. No relay throw. Well, he had some choices there. Do you think he made the right one?
Well, I think that maybe the one thing that cost him was a little bit of a hesitation before he starts. See how he takes a look there at third and then flips the ball over to second. If you're going to try to get that 3-6-1 or 3-6-3 double play, you've got to commit early. It's 2 long throws. There's no time to contemplate in that situation, and the play is normally go ahead and get 2 and allow the run to score. But if you don't feel like you can get 2, maybe you take a shot at the runner at home.
I thought he had a play on DeJesus. Works out for the Cubs, so Rizzo gets an RBI, his 36th on the fielder's choice.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. You either got to do one of 2 things. You either got to turn the double play or come home. Baseball 101 says go ahead and turn the double play and give up the run. But if you're not sure you can get 2, then it probably makes sense to come home. This early in the game. Later in the game, when runs are more precious in a tight game, infield's probably in and you're thinking coming home.
One strike on Soriano, who's heating up.
Adams never really received high marks for his defensive work.
He's paid to hit. Alfonso had the game-winning RBI on Monday. The game-tying home run on Sunday in Cincy.
Three out of 10 against Danks. A 3-hit game on Monday. Banged one off the wall.
Should be 2. So Danks able to limit the damage. The Cubs get an unearned run, but that's it. 1-0 after 1.
Baseball's not actually a job.
On June 7th.
This is not a conventional workplace. We have rules. Taking food home.
Do you have a to-go cup like a guzzler? Do you have like a redneck guzzler with a straw?
No. Dating a fellow intern.
Am I detecting an accent?
Australian, actually.
Lord of the Rings country.
You can't date an intern, no.
No, that's frowned upon also.
Having a beer with your boss. I will not be grabbing a cold one with you.
You get high?
The Internship, rated PG-13.
Look at them kids. They have no idea what it was like before U-verse high-speed internet.
Yeah. You couldn't just stream movies to a device like that.
One time, I'd wait half a day to watch a movie. You watch movies? I was lucky if I could watch a show.
Show? Man, I was happy to see a sneezing panda clip.
Trevor, have you eaten today? You sound a little grumpy.
Connect all your Wi-Fi enabled devices with U-verse high-speed internet. Rethink possible.
I was turned in Djibouti, Africa, 2004.
Vietnam in 1972.
Fort Benning, Georgia in 1999.
USAA auto insurance is often handed down from generation to generation because it offers a superior level of protection and because USAA's commitment to serve military members, veterans, and their families is without equal. Begin your legacy. Get an auto insurance quote. USAA. We know what it means to serve.
Play catch in the outfield to relax in the dugouts of Wrigley Field during Catch in the Confines, presented by Advocate Healthcare, Sunday, June 16th. For $150 each, a limited number of tickets are available and include a t-shirt, photograph, baseball, and lunch. Guest tickets are available for $15 each. All proceeds benefit Chicago Cubs charities, and for more info or to get tickets, go to Cubs.com/community. Nice day for baseball. These two teams will play again tomorrow afternoon. Jake Peavy and Travis Wood on the mound, and then the Cubs will welcome in the National League West's Arizona Diamondbacks, who currently lead that division by 2 games. Ian Viciado takes a strike. Committed that error in the bottom of the first, helping the Cubs get their run. Way inside. The Seattle's from Cuba. Signed with the White Sox prior to the 2009 season. Defected from Cuba the year before. Sinker misses low and away. 2-2. This is the only matinee. Everything else later tonight, as these interleague rivalry series switch venues, and in most cases cities too. Should be no problem for Barney. 1 out.
Yeah, so making 160 total chances, no errors so far for Barney, coming on the heels of an outstanding record-setting year last year defensively.
The rookie third baseman Connor Gillespie. 1 for 3 Monday, had a hit last night. That one, however, washed away. A big hang with him for Wellington Castillo. Hit his first homer since early April last night. 2-run shot.
Yeah,
and it never happened.
Well, yeah, we had a shot of him in the dugout giving Luis Valbuena or somebody a big hug, and big smile on his face, and to hang with him.
Said to Darwin Barney walking out onto the field today, how'd you like to have a home run taken away because of a rainout? He said, I'd love to Said, I would hate to have a rollover ground ball base hit taken away the way I'm going. I think the guy you feel for more than any is Edwin Jackson. Just looked like he was really on his game. He was throwing everything hard. He had a good quick pace, and he had a 2-0 lead. But it's been that kind of year. Can't even create good luck.
Second consecutive game in which rain has forced him to leave the ball game. Last time the game was resumed last night, there's another line drive from this kid. My goodness.
One will count for Gillespie. So a one-out base runner.
Beginning to look somewhat familiar. Stays back, pulls the hands in, and look at the top hand come through and allows him to hit that ball up in the zone on a line instead of a weak little flare.
Well, pretty quiet hands too.
Good short stroke.
Here's Jeff Keppinger off to a very slow start. First year with the White Sox. A 3-year deal in the offseason.
Yeah, he's picked it up of late. He's always been a good high average hitter, line drive hitter. Doesn't hit the ball out of the ballpark, but count on him for good solid contact for the most part. Doesn't walk much, doesn't strike out much. Really good against left-handed pitching over the years.
Runner goes and Keppinger fouls. Good hit and run candidate because he does make contact. So Jeff Keppinger in 2004 got his first major league action with the Mets, and he replaced a guy standing about 100 feet away from him, Joe McEwing, on the Mets roster after Super Joe suffered a broken leg. Outside 1-2.
Mentioned the top of the first that the running game might be in play for the White Sox here today. Feldman, the big righty, not particularly quick to home plate. Ventura, obviously, in the National League Park, doesn't have his DH. He's got his pitcher hitting, so he may be looking for different ways to create a little offense. Ramirez steals second base in the first. They took a shot at a hit and run play here.
You like to put percentages on things?
Yeah, sometimes they're even accurate.
Okay, so what's the percentage that Keppinger will walk or strike out? It's 2-2.
It's less than 10%.
And it goes again. Keppinger gets a piece.
Almost struck out right there. I'm going to go up a little bit. I'm going to go to 16%.
16. Okay.
Long drifting out on that front foot there. He's only walked twice so far this year. He has struck out 17 times.
His first walk came in his 141st plate appearance, and it forced in the game-winning run. 3-2.
Keyholing right there. Just off the outside edge. Maybe a little more than just.
This will be a for sure send for Gillespie on a 3-2. He takes off. Keppinger fouls.
Situation here with a guy like Keppinger in the batter's box, 3-2. He knows the guy's running, so his job obviously is ball four or contact. And with that approach, you're going to try to be a little bit more patient, not cheating on anything. You're not trying to get the head out and yank the ball for fear of being fooled by an off-speed pitch.
Another 3-2 with a runner going, and this one is pulled foul.
That ball off the plate inside. A guy like Keppinger up there that makes a lot of contact in this situation. You see a lot of these sprints and jog backs to first by that base runner.
Already an 8-pitch at bat. Behind the plate. No play for Navarro.
This would be much more fun if Adam Dunn were the base runner and not Connor Gillespie. It would be fun to watch Dunn's reaction with all these. He'd be looking at Ventura and just going, no mas, I'm not going this time. Keppinger with a 468 on base plus slugging. That's the lowest mark in the major leagues for his career. He's in the 700s, a little below average because he doesn't hit for a lot of power.
Well, he's making Feldman work. 10 pitches, 6 foul balls.
When we were kids, we used to play 4 fouls and you're out. Might have to invoke that rule.
Here we go again on a 3-2. And it could have been a double play, but Castro went over to cover second. Instead, it's a base hit. Gillespie to third, and the White Sox threatening. Runners at the corners.
And because Keppinger does hit the ball the other way, it's tough to make the call as to who's going to cover on this play. And wasn't that bad by Jeff Keppinger? My goodness. Castro would have been able to hold his ground just a little bit longer there.
Brings up Tyler Flowers.
That was pretty good work by Keppinger. All the pitches he made Feldman throw and then delivering the base hit through the vacated hole.
Now 1-1. I'd love to see Tyler Flowers and Mike Ivy, maybe Phil Plantier in the same lineup.
Ooh, I see you working. Could have an all garden team.
Botanical all-stars.
I'll throw Pete Rose on that club and Ted Lilly.
Ted Lilly. Ron no, let's see. Come up with a few more. outside. 2-1.
Herb Washington.
Nice. Three and one. So all of a sudden this impatient White Sox lineup showing some patience. Our AT&T U-verse multi-view. Gillespie, a runner at third. On your left. Keppinger, an 11-pitch at bat on your right. And Flowers in the driver's seat. The pitcher is on deck. It's Danks.
I think he's going to throw him a hard cutter towards that outside corner.
He did, and it's rocketed into right, and the White Sox have tied it. So Flowers scorches a single and knocks in his 13th run.
And Flowers was likely thinking along those lines as well. And the reason why I said that is because in his last start, he had the 8-hole hitter up there, Ryan Hannigan, tried to trick him with a curveball, hung it, and Hannigan hit a big home run off of him. So he's pitching away from that worst case scenario here, staying with the hard stuff. Just didn't hit his spot. If he gets it down a little bit, maybe off the plate, he might induce a lazy fly ball to right field, but that ball stayed up in the zone, and Flowers with a good solid approach hit it hard to right.
Bunting spot here for Danks. That's down a pretty good one. Valbuena calling for it. Barney covering.
Well done here by John Danks. We were talking earlier about the advantage the Cubs have. I think the Cubs have an advantage only in that their pitchers are really good hitters. I don't know that the National League has that much of an advantage in general over the American League and National League parks, because I think pitchers, you're either just a good athlete or not. You can handle the bat or not, regardless of which league you're in. Most American League managers will tell you they just want their guys to be able to get bunts down, but I'm sure there's a number of the American League pitchers that handle the bat pretty well, just like there's a lot of National League pitchers who can't hit a lick.
2-out RBI opportunity for De Aza, and he takes a backdoor curve over for strike one. Thought maybe Robin Ventura might try to sneak Jordan Danks into those at bats. He have the same name on his back, but Jordan Danks is in the minor leagues. Younger brother of John.
Yeah, very athletic family. Their dad played basketball at the University of Texas.
So get Feldman out of the inning. 1 run on 3 hits, 2 left for the White Sox. It's 1-1 as they get their first run of the series.
The hot and spicy McChicken. Revving up the dollar menu with a blend of savory spices. Get hold of crispy tender satisfaction or grab a familiar favorite, all for just $1 each. Hot and spicy. Can you handle more to love for less?
I am an American success story.
I'm a teacher.
I'm a firefighter. I'm a carpenter.
I'm an accountant.
I'm a mechanical engineer.
And I shop at Walmart.
Truth is, over 60% of America shops at Walmart every month. I find what I need at a great price.
And the money I save goes to important things.
Races for my daughter. Little something for my son's college fund.
When people look at me,
I hope they see someone building a better life.
Living better. That's the real Walmart.
till we get to Vegas. Yeah.
Your order's ready at the next window.
Thank you.
Next up, refreshment with delicious 49-cent cones at McDonald's for a limited time only.
Send us your comments on today's game through Twitter using hashtag Cubs Talk, and we'll read one back later in the game. It's our AT&T tweet of the game. So a 1-1 tie. Banks gave up an unearned run in the first inning. His team able to knot it up on a Tyler Flowers RBI single in the second. So it's Scott Hairston. Talked to Scott briefly today, partner, and he kind of reiterated what you have been saying for a couple of weeks. He needs some consistent at bats, and he felt like his timing was off. Felt like he was out in front of a lot of pitches. We've seen a lot of foul balls pulled way foul to left, but he's starting to feel it, and he had a double before the game was washed out last night. So 3 straight starts against lefties.
Yeah, I may change my vote as to who I feel most sorry for with that game being washed out. It might be Scott Hairston. Hasn't had a lot of luck yet or success this year, and that double taken away. That's going to be annoying.
Adam Dunn makes the catch and foul ground. Well, that is a great sight. Blue skies after a rough weather night last night. Switch hitting Deoner Navarro will bat right-handed. Was in the DH spot last night. Back behind the plate today. Zah. I don't know why Dave Turner, our director, always has to make me hungry around 2 o'clock.
The daily food shot.
Yeah.
Going fastball away, then change up. In the same part of the strike zone, staying away from Navarro. A couple of heaters and an 81-mile-an-hour change.
Turns on this one, and he turned too much.
He had slowed that bat down, so he's going to try to sneak a piece of cheese by him.
Deep left center for Navarro. Gone into the front row of the bleachers. Cubs lead 2-1.
Well, the next time Tyler Flowers goes to the mound with a suggestion for John Danks, he may not be willing to listen. Fastball was yanked hard foul, so they go back, change up away, and so many times it's not the selection but the execution. That's a belt high changeup out over the plate. Our forward home run replay showing Deoner Navarro hitting his 4th, and that guy's jacked up. Yes, sir.
First homer for Navarro in a month. Last one was April 28th at Miami.
Good to see that they haven't forgotten the home run dance, the ritual, though.
There's some sort of soccer connection with that celebration in the dugout. (3-0) on Valbuena. I guess that's a soccer warm-up drill of some kind.
They finishes with shining the shoe.
Yeah, I thought it was playing a violin, but
shooting a bow and arrow. I don't know.
Soccer illiterate.
It could be a pregame feature, having those guys describe their home run celebration.
Big soccer fan, Deanna Navarro. So Valbuena walks. It'll bring up Darwin Barney with 1 out. I'll give a shout out to Giovanni and Joshua Santiago, their brother Joel, letting us know that his brothers both made honor roll all 4 quarters this school year. Nice going, guys. Luis Valbuena recently sprained his right pinky finger. He's taping the ring finger and the pinky finger together, and also holding his batting gloves. Keep those fingers tucked underneath. Rios coming on.
The Cubs fans, tomorrow, May 30th, is Jersey Off Our Back Day here at Wrigley Field. Don't miss the action. Cubs White Sox at 1:20. Autographed game-worn jerseys will be awarded to lucky fans in random seats after the ball game. That's compliments of Majestic. If it happens in baseball, it happens in Majestic. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Feldmania.
Feldmania is back.
Wanted to get his former teammate big time.
Danks in the 03 draft was a 9th overall pick in the first round by Texas. And then Feldman went in the 30th round, the 886th pick. They pitched together throughout the Rangers minor league system. Actually, Danks was dealt to the Sox December of 06. Nick Massett, Jacob Rasner for Brandon McCarthy, and an outfielder, David Pisano.
Didn't have to be, Tim. It's a tall man in there.
Struck him out swinging for Danks. That's his first punch out. Navarro with a 1-out home run into the bleachers in left center, and the Cubs lead 2-1 after
2. Sometimes going to new places is the only way to truly arrive. Going new places. That's how we fly. Beginning June 2nd, Southwest Airlines is offering new nonstop service from Midway to Wichita, starting at $99 one way. Book now online, only at southwest.com. We are Southwest. Welcome aboard.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced, or descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
Why are twice as many people choosing Verizon over any other carrier? Many choose us because we have the largest 4G LTE network. Others because of our reputation for reliability. Or maybe it's because we received J.D. Power & Associates Customer Service Award 4 times in a row. In the end, there are countless reasons, but one choice. That's powerful. Verizon.
Why shop TJ Maxx and Marshalls? 1. You get all the awesome brand names. 2. You get them for less than department stores, and that's awesome. 3. She'll think you look stylish and awesome. 4. You'll actually be awesome, which is awesome. TJ Maxx and Marshalls. 2 awesome ways to score.
It's no fairy tale that the right fit means everything, especially when it comes to car seats. Always choose one that's the right fit for your child's age and size.
That does make a difference.
To find out more, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
Welcome back. Earlier today at Wrigley Field, David DeJesus and his wife Kim DeJesus presenting a check from the David DeJesus Family Foundation to ALS Research and Support for $80,000. They had a great fundraiser earlier this year. And then Kim DeJesus joins me now. Kim, there was another fundraiser today with the Cubs wives. Tell me about it.
Yeah, it was a great time. The Cubs wives and coaches' wives came out and we sold balls for $40, and all the money went to the victims of the tornado in Oklahoma. So it was great.
How many baseballs and how much money?
Well, we had over a couple hundred baseballs, and we raised about $10,000 in just a couple hours. So it was amazing. The wives were working it out there, so it's
all
good.
Right.
Yeah.
Keep up the good work, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Len, some great work going on inside and outside of Wrigley Field today.
Thanks, Luke. And Kim grew up a Cub fan. She's from Wheaton. That's where the DeJesuses live. Pretty interesting, JD. David and Kim moved to Wheaton before he signed with the Cubs. It worked out pretty well.
Sure did, yeah. He would love to remain a Cub, but there may be some clubs at the trade deadline that would have interest in a guy like David DeJesus.
Swinging strike on Alexei Ramirez, a single and a steal in the first inning. Cubs lead 2-1. We're in the third.
That's the one he wanted to throw flowers last time. On top of that one a little bit. Had it down in the zone, had a little bit of tilt to it. That's all he's asking for out of that cutter. He didn't want a big break on it. Just a little late movement.
Off the end of the bat. And this will be an easy play for Scott Hairston. Feldman working from the first base side on the rubber, and a good sinker. 0-1. It'll be Hairston again. Comes Dunn. He struck out in the first and has now fanned 16 times over his last 29 at bats.
Ranks third in the American League with 67 strikeouts. Just Carter and Napoli. Struck out about 35% of his plate appearances. Always been a part of the Adam Dunn story. A ton of strikeouts, a lot of walks and home runs.
Around baseball, the Reds stay hot. 33-19 and 20-7 at home after winning both games against the Indians. 8-2 the final last night. Reds have now won 14 of 17. So that series will continue in Cleveland tonight. They're still trailing the Cardinals by a game and a half. St. Louis beat Kansas City 4-1. They win both games at Kauffman Stadium.
Kansas City has lost 10 consecutive home games. There's going to be some grumbling about Ned Yost.
3-2 with 2 outs. Swung on and missed. On the cutter to end the inning. 3 strikeouts for Feldman. He has a 2-1 lead in the 3rd.
Bonjour, je t'adore, c'est aujourd'hui et toujours, maman. How about me?
Here's to a life less routine. The more connected, athletic, seductive Lexus RX. Lease the 2013 RX 350 for $399 a month for 36 months, with $26.99 due at signing. See your Lexus dealer.
We left Earth over 1,000 years ago. Son, we are about to find out why. Do not move.
After Earth. Rated PG-13 in theaters and IMAX Friday.
At Jiffy Lube, we're highly trained in more ways than one, from oil changes, entire rotations, to ridiculous slam dunks. We also have access to vehicle manufacturer recommendations to service practically every make and model. Not to mention, we use the advanced technology of Pennzoil motor oil.
Visit JiffyLube.com/sweepstakes for your chance to score tickets to one of Pro Baseball's big games.
After every playoff game, tune in to CSN for Blackhawks Postgame Live, presented by Hawk Ford. Pat and Steve break down the action and take you live to the locker room to hear from the players. Blackhawks Postgame Live, after every game throughout the playoffs on Comcast Sportsnet.
A reminder, tonight's must-see Blackhawks Game 7 with the Red Wings will be followed by a must-see Blackhawks postgame live on Comcast Sportsnet. Go live to the locker room and get a full breakdown of the action with Blackhawks postgame live presented by Hawk Ford tonight after the game only on Comcast Sportsnet. Should be good stuff.
Top of the order, second time through. DeJesus, Castro, and Rizzo. The Cubs leading 2-1. Some great fans on Twitter talking about Tyler Flowers and the All Botanical team. Gary Thorne would be the announcer. Taylor Teagarden, Brandon Moss, Bud Harrelson.
Oh, yeah. Bud Norris.
Any Bud.
Any Bud. How about Craig Stamen of the Nationals? We'll put him in the bullpen. Wally Buttercup Jones.
Homer Bush. Randy Bush, Cubs assistant general manager. And Ryan Leaf if you need a quarterback.
He could throw out the ceremonial first pitch. You get Rosemary Clooney to sing the anthem. Boy, I'm showing my age now. Dropped a Rosemary Clooney on you.
What Christmas? Right there with you. 3-2 on the normally patient DeJesus. He reached on an error in the first inning and later scored. Swing and a miss. Was that the change?
That was a dandy. About Danks in that changeup with the right-handed hitters, but we've seen him featured to the lefties a couple of times too. It just used to be taboo to throw a changeup left-hander to a left-handed hitter. There was a fear that you were just doing a guy a favor, especially inside. But the hitter sees fastball, they get that bat started. It doesn't matter right or left. That good changeup will work. If you hang it, you're going to pay a big price.
Danks working quickly in the 0-1. hit foul up along third.
Thanks. Just 28 years of age. He's been in the league a while now. Sox signing him to a 5-year, $65 million deal prior to last year. So they're thrilled to see him back healthy, pitching again. Such a crapshoot. You know, you sign a guy to a long-term deal, especially a pitcher. Potential for injury. See it now with the Cubs with Fujikawa. Well, they didn't go out so far with him. It was just a 2-year deal plus the club option.
Kyuji will have Tommy John surgery coming up, so he's done for the year and will miss the start of next year as well. Two to Castro. Ramirez gets rid of it quickly. Fujikawa was on the DL earlier with a forearm strain. Then he came back, and we both thought he looked better when he returned. In Cincinnati over the weekend. Right here, pointing at his elbow.
Point to it. Yeah.
It's not good. That's a fair ball. Done with a nice play. Not a great throw, but Danks bails him out. So the Cubs go down in order 1, 2, 3 for the first time today. Adam Dunn, not known for his glove work, but pretty good play right there. 2-1 Cubs.
Limited time at Luna. Buy one room, get your second room free. Plus, get up to $500 off. At Luna, we work for you.
773-202 Luna.
Right now, save big on beautiful kitchen and bath remodels from Galaxy. Just $49 installed. Call or visit GalaxyHome.com today.
773-783-8300. Call Galaxy.
What's something that's slow that you wish was fast?
Turtle.
Really? A turtle?
Yeah.
And what about you?
I would rather be a slow turtle.
Well,
I know why. Because when you're slower, you won't have to get in the street as fast and get ran over.
But if you're a slow turtle and you're in the middle of the street, what happens? Austin? Exactly.
It's not complicated. Faster is better. And AT&T is the nation's fastest 4G LTE network.
Hi, I'm David Kaplan. Wednesday at 5:30, the greatest 2 words in sports. Game 7, NHL style. We're live at the United Center to get you set for the decider between the Blackhawks and the Red Wings. Wednesday, Sports Talk Live rolls at 5:30.
This 4th inning is brought to you by the new Cool Ranch Doritos Locos Tacos from Taco Bell. Liv Moss. Welcome back to Wrigley Field. The Menards grounds crew taking care of the infield dirt. Why am I thinking of an old commercial with Pamela Anderson? Anyway, my mind wanders.
Not familiar with that
you know, I don't.
Maybe you were thinking of bringing those guys onto our all botanical team.
No,
somebody's got to water those flowers.
Grounds crew. Viciedo fouls off. I think Pamela was washing her car, if you get my drift.
Okay.
Slow motion. Foul strike to Viciedo. 2-1 Cubs here in the 4th. Thought about it and held up. Mets and Yankees will move to the Bronx. Mets won both games at Citi Field. The Yankees have now lost 3 in a row for the first time this season.
Mets scored 2 in the bottom of the ninth. They beat Mariano Rivera to win yesterday's ball game. Outstanding start for Matt Harvey.
Rivera threw out the first and last pitch. Mets had him throw out a first pitch to I believe John Franco. And then the Mets were not great hosts in the 9th inning.
Is that Ike Davis?
I think that was Lucas Duda.
That would be ironic. The start that Ike Davis has had, and he would get the big knockoff of Rivera.
Full count. Called strike 3.
It's an 89-mile-an-hour fastball, upper reaches of the strike zone, outer third. Ciedo looking for anything but. He must have been guessing off speed there.
Gillespie with the only Sox run this week. Single. Tally in the second. Called strike. It's number 64 of the afternoon for Feldman. And the cutter's fouled.
Threw half of them to Jeff Keppinger in that one at bat.
Keppinger's on deck. Pirates got a split in Detroit. 1-0 in 11. The final last night is Gillespie strikes out. That's 3 in a row now for Feldman, going back to the third. 5 in all. The NL West leading Arizona Diamondbacks come to town this weekend for a 3-gamer against the Cubs. Tickets are available for all 3. To purchase seats, visit Cubs.com. Neil Walker with a game-winning homer in the 11th for the Bucks.
Combination of Melanson, Grilly late made the Pirates awfully tough in the late innings. Really, I believe now 21 out of 21 in save tries. Tom Verducci's got a very good story on SI.com about closers. There's kind of this herd mentality in baseball, how the closer is used, and he argues that aside from guys like Rivera, it's such a fluid situation from one year to the next. Last year's hero, who was perfect in save opportunities, blows up the following year. Whether it's from overwork or just regression to the mean, he doesn't really pinpoint it, but just basically makes the point: be very wary before you invest a whole lot of money and kind of say, here's my closer, here's my guy, I'm going to go to him every time there's a safe situation. I guess the question is, when does somebody break out of that mold?
Look at Jose Valverde, who was perfect. Struggled late last year. Tigers didn't want him back. Now he is back. A 1-2-3 for Feldman. 2-1 Cubs.
You got us a job. Well, it's not actually a job.
On June 7th.
This is not a conventional workplace. We have rules. Taking food home.
Do you have a to-go cup like a guzzler? Do you have like a redneck guzzler with a straw?
No. Dating a fellow intern. Am I detecting an accent?
Australian, actually.
Lord of the Rings country. You can't date an intern, no.
No, that's frowned upon also.
Having a beer with your boss.
would not be grabbing a cold one with you.
You get high? The Internship, rated PG-13.
Same make, same model, same year. Different owners. Right now at Firestone Complete Auto Care, when you get an AC performance check for only $19.99, they'll include a free battery check. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
Hurry to the Hyundai Memorial Day sales event featuring the models that all of America's talking about. Right now, get incredible deals like 0% APR for 60 months on Elantra, plus a $500 valued owner coupon. Or take home the dependable Sonata and also enjoy 0% APR for 60 months. And drive away with Hyundai Assurance, including America's best warranty. The Hyundai Memorial Day sales event ends May 31st. Visit myhyundaichicago.com.
Welcome back, everybody. You want to make everyone in your office or a group of friends happy? Aside from bringing donuts, host your best customers, guests, and employees in a private suite at Wrigley Field. Oh, it's much better than donuts. Limited inventory is still available throughout the season. To book your premier experience at the ballpark, visit Cubs.com/suites or call 773-404-4200.
How about Gene Segura? He's done it all this year. He's stolen first base, and he's now leading the National League at 365. The Brewers lost in 14 innings, but he had 6 hits.
Yeah, he has been unbelievable. I saw him a little bit last year. You knew he was a good player. Didn't know he was this good.
Tied the game in the 9th. Sent it to extras.
Still lost the ball game. No, you didn't.
2 strikes on Soriano. Launched into a 6-4-3 double play in the first. We know he won't do that here with nobody on base. The Brewers have now lost 4 in a row and 20 of 25.
And despite some very good individual performances, Segura's having a big year. Carlos Gomez is having a monster year, an OPS up around 1,000. Braun continues to hit. Aoki's hitting. Some of their other guys aren't doing much at all, and the pitching has not been very good.
Way up in the air. It's DeAza.
One of the ways scouts evaluate power in young players. They'll watch them take batting practice, and they'll see how far they hit high fly balls. If they hit it really high but still carries a good long way, it's an indication that guy's got some legitimate pop.
To Hairston, up and away, and a change.
Interesting.
Well, you don't bring a hat. Sometimes you just have to make do. That was a much better changeup.
Yeah, and that's that's the challenge for the hitters. Like to hit fastballs. They hunt fastballs on 2-0, 3-1 counts, but there's just no guarantee you're going to get one from Dank. So adjustment needs to be made. Just can't afford to sell out fastball in any count with this guy.
The 3-1 muscled out in the left. Viciato playing very deep. So Hairston has a hit. Time for our AT&T tweet.
I always anticipate this moment. Very exciting part of the game.
David DeJesus, marry me please. Well, unfortunately, Taylor, we just had an interview with David's wife, Kim. So he is taken, but I'm sure he appreciates the thought.
Kim, on the other hand, not so much.
Navarro with a go-ahead homer in the second. Time for Xfinity high-speed action.
Thanks, thought I had him set up for a changeup, and maybe he did, but he threw a really bad one. Up out over the plate. Navarro taking full advantage.
Another check on Hairston.
Throw overs likely coming from the White Sox dugout. Robin Ventura trying to guess along with Dale Swain. Well, Navarro's not a speedy guy, doesn't want to hit in a double play. They might start a base run.
High fly to deep left. Viciedo back. This ball is gone. A two-homer day for Navarro. Cubs lead 4-1.
Wow, we're going to get Marry Me Deoner Navarro tweets here pretty soon. The home runs come in bunches for Deoner, and that appears to be another hanging changeup. And look at the reaction by John Danks. That belly button high changeup almost never works. You still have to hit him, and Navarro gave that one the full treatment.
The breathing room now as Valbuena lofts to left, and Viciedo near the line has it.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
That is the first career two-homer game for Navarro. One thing that has been pretty consistent for this Cubs offense during the first 51 games. They need to hit for extra base power in order to score runs. They've done that today with 2 homers. Meantime, 3-0 on Barney. To their bullpen. That's a fair ball past Gillespie. Going to rattle around in the left field corner. Barney to second. He's going to stop there with a double.
A great swing of the bat there from Barney, who's been on the uptick here lately. Gets the head out in front of this fastball. I think that's really been the key to his improvement. Just going ahead, taking good aggressive swings and hitters counts. That when he was really struggling, there was a lot of talk about going the other way, and it seemed to me like he was feeling for the ball, getting caught in between the breaking ball and the fastball.
Hector Santiago up.
We tend to talk out of both sides of our mouths because we talk so much about the value of staying inside the ball and hitting it the other way, and that's the approach that most high average hitters take. But you got to have the ability to turn on that fastball and get after a good heater. Dale Swain talks about that a lot. The head out in front of a fastball and pull it, hit it hard. Top the leaderboard in the National League in terms of extra base hits. It's with the Barney double, 171. What they used to call long hits back in the day.
Feldman, the beneficiary of this 4-run day to this point. A piece of it, 1-2. Full count, 3-2. Danks does not want to walk the pitcher.
.75 pitches for Danks. He's had to work awfully hard. The stuff has not been particularly sharp this afternoon. Just his second outing back post-surgery.
A spot due up second in the 5th inning, so this might be it for him no matter what. Ciedo over and no play. To navigate over the bullpen mound. Gillespie and Ramirez in the area as well. Long at bat here for Feldman, making his former minor league teammate work pretty hard.
Yeah, it's usually a pretty good signal too to the dugout that your guy might be done. He can't finish off the opposing pitcher, and although Feldman's better than most. I feel your pain, John. I once gave up 2 home runs to the backup catcher in this park, fellow by the name of Hector Villanueva.
I remember, yeah. I don't remember the home runs, but that one pulled foul, but I remember Hector.
Mania unleashed on that one. There's no keeping Feldmania down. He might have the best swing on the team.
Cue shot liner to Gillespie, the third baseman. Well, I mentioned Feldman, the beneficiary. The benefactor today has been his catcher, Deoner Navarro. 2 homers, 3 RBIs, and the Cubs lead 4-1.
Sometimes going to new places is the only way. to truly arrive. Going new places. That's how we fly. Beginning June 2nd, Southwest Airlines is offering new nonstop service from Midway to Wichita, starting at $99 one way. Book now online, only at southwest.com. We are Southwest. Welcome aboard.
Oh, she's gonna love this. Ow! Ow!
Next time, try this, the Champagne Lodge. With our private pool and Whirlpool suites, on-site spa, and special occasion packages, you can be sure to give a gift that will create great memories.
Nice work.
Anytime.
Every season tells a story.
Are you kidding me?
New stars rise.
Unbelievable.
Old records fall.
Goodbye.
Dreams are chased. And miracles happen. Bring home all of this year's defining moments with NFL Sunday Ticket only on DirecTV. Every game, every Sunday, everything a fan could ask for, now less than $2 a game. For the most live NFL action anywhere, call 1-800-GET-SPORTS today.
Cubs, White Sox, tomorrow at 12:30 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Qdoba Mexican Grill wants to spread their 3-cheese queso love to the Chicagoland area. Opt into Qdoba's mobile club by texting Q to 50500 to receive free chips and queso. Scott Feldman now with a 3-run lead had his 4-game winning streak snapped in his last start. It has been very good so far today, and John Dank's done after 4 innings of work. Looks like Casper Wells will hit for him after Tyler Flowers bats, and we want to send out a happy 66th birthday to Joe Kwasny. It's from VFW Post 369. Great to have with us today Cody Normand, budding broadcaster from Hofstra University, hanging with us today.
Flying Dutchman. Happy birthday also to Jerry Hairston Jr. Toiling for the Dodgers these days. Scott just got him a base hit for a birthday present.
I wonder if Jerry's on the DL. Check it.
He's now 37 years of age. Between them, these Hairston boys, they played for like 15 different clubs.
Yeah, they've covered about half the big leagues. You're right. Jerry had a strained groin, but was removed from the DL 2 days ago. Ball 1 to Flowers. He knocked in the White Sox run in the second. Turns on one, and he'll end up with a double. See how the ivy has grown in, so ball hits that now. It's going to deaden it, as opposed to April when you might get a bigger bounce off the bricks.
Well, the challenge fastball for sure, right there in the center square. Ball in to block.
Here's Wells, as Robin Ventura will go to his bullpen in the bottom of this inning. Wells already with his 4th organization this season. And with a nod to the Blackhawks tonight, we'll say organization. Then with Seattle, Toronto, the A's, and now the White Sox. He bunts toward third, but it's foul.
Clearly trying to bunt for a hit there. You wouldn't be looking to sacrifice in this situation. 5 out of 21 in the pinch in his career. Came up for the first time with the Tigers back in 2010.
Hometown is Schenectady, New York.
Just outside of Albany.
Feldman's 1-1. Which was up a little bit. Wells could only foul it back.
Got some power. He had 11 home runs and 215 at-bats in 2011. 10 home runs last year and 285 at-bats.
Doubled to start the inning. 2-2 on the pinch hitter Wells. Diaz is on deck. Here it comes. Full count. Man's been good for Feldman so far. Without a strikeout. Or rather without a walk and 5 strikeouts to this point, but he's 3-2 on Wells.
And for the most part, you know, not only not walking people, but this is what we've seen all year from him, is making very few mistakes in the strike zone. That pitch to Flowers was a cookie right over the heart of the plate, but he's been really good at working the edges and moving the ball in and out. Changing speeds, and all those things you need to do to be effective.
Another 3-2 and another foul.
A scouting report on Feldman at the start of the year, was that he was a guy who would lean heavily on his sinker, but for me it's been cutter, curveball have been his 2 best weapons. Big old hands. That ball just disappears in his hand.
He has thrown his curveball more this year than at any other time in his career. Just over 25% of his pitches. That will get through on the left side. And they have him at first and third with nobody out. The top of the order coming up.
They did go with the sinking fastball there. He got a ground ball, but Wells able to find a hole on the left side. See that sinking action down in the zone. Got the ground ball he was looking for, but Wells found a hole.
Best chance of the series for the White Sox. First and third. See that on base percentage for Diaz, just .284, but so far Robbins sticking with him as his leadoff man.
Yeah, he's one of those guys, he sees a lot of pitches, but he doesn't draw a lot of walks.
I don't know what the better option would be for them. Maybe Gillespie might be the only guy you think about right now. You had to make a move. Possibly Ramirez.
Tim Raines isn't coming back.
No. Fly ball to left. Soriano on the move. He's got it. Tyler Flowers will tag and score. It's a sac fly for Diaz, and it's now 4-2. The key there for Feldman was just to get an out. He did that. Now he's a pitch away. If he can get a double play ball of getting out of this with only one run.
Ball where Wells, known it was going to be caught out there, would have been easy for him to tag from first as well and get into scoring position. But the way that ball was hit, with Soriano pursuing it, he had to give himself a chance to score if the ball wasn't caught. So he was all the way to second base.
This is interesting. He hit 21 home runs his rookie year. 15, 18, 15, then last year 9. And so far this season just 1. It was on April 3rd. Listed at 6'2", 175, but soaking wet. He looks like he's about $140. Stronger than he looks. Feldman's 0-2, way inside and low.
A lot of times you could tell the strength of a hitter by shaking their hand. Guy's got a firm grip, big strong hands. They don't have to be big and muscular, but hands and forearms.
Barney will get the out at second, and Castro, just for good measure, tagged Wells. I think he got him on the force. So Starlin hoping that that would be an inning-ending double play. Force out, tag out.
Yeah,
That's
just get the same guy twice.
Right.
Kind of like that 4 fouls in your out rule. He's just going to invent a little something there.
Rios is grounded out and flied out. Runs are higher than he had them a couple of years ago. Had a really good year last year. .304 last season, 25 home runs after hitting just .227 the year before. Runner goes, pitches a strike. Navarro's throw is going to get past Barney and into center, and Ramirez asking for some interference or obstruction. He's not going to get the call. Barney was on top of him as Ramirez went sliding through at second.
Not a real big lead, but a pretty good jump. We talked earlier about Feldman not being really quick to home plate. There's, after the head first slide, looking to advance. It's a good photo op right there. Have a little caption contest for the tweet of the day. Put a caption on that.
Kind of hard to run to third with a middle infielder on your back. Here's the 0-1 to Rios. Now Bueno to Rizzo. And the inning is over. Well, Feldman does limit the damage. The White Sox settle for 1. It's 4-2 Cubs.
The hot and spicy McChicken. Revving up the dollar menu with a blend of savory spices. Get hold of crispy tender satisfaction or grab a familiar favorite, all for just $1 each. Hot and spicy. Can you handle more to love for less?
Motor Trend asked people who aren't driving a Ford to take the EcoBoost Challenge. Ford Fusion with EcoBoost technology took on Honda and Toyota.
Ooh, baby. This is a 4-cylinder? 37 miles per gallon. That's awesome.
Assisted parking. This is amazing. I feel like I'm cheating on my Honda.
The power, the way it handles, in comparison to the Camry, is a lot better.
It fits my personality. It's me.
Get a Ford Fusion with 0% financing for 60 months during the final days of the Ford EcoBoost Challenge.
The final 4 weeks of the Book of Mormon are on sale now. From the creators of South Park,
Trey Parker and Matt Stone,
comes the show that's got people saying,
is so good it makes me angry.
The Book of Mormon.
Just won 8,000 Tony Awards, including Best Musical.
When the aliens come thousands of years from now, if it is the record of our time here on Earth, I will be absolutely satisfied with that.
The Book of Mormon. Must leave October 6th. No chance of extension. Visit BroadwayInChicago.com.
Vegas, Vegas, nothing's gonna stop us till we get to Vegas. Yeah.
Your order's ready at the next window.
Thank you.
Next stop, refreshment with delicious 49-cent cones at McDonald's for a limited time only.
Hi, I'm David Kaplan with a Coors Light Sportsnet Central update. Blackhawks and Red Wings meet in Game 7 at the United Center tonight. As soon as the game goes final, tune over to us, Pat Boyle, Steve Conroy with Blackhawks post-game live, Coach Q's comments, the key players, and hopefully reviewing a Blackhawks win. Again, Blackhawks post-game live as soon as the game goes final here at Comcast Sportsnet. Now, back to Wrigley, Len and JD.
Thanks, Cap, and welcome back to Wrigley Field. The Cubs lead 4-2. Get your tickets for the 4th of July Millionaire Raffle on sale now at all Illinois lottery retailers.
Left-hander Hector Santiago, who jumped into the Sox rotation in early May when Gavin Floyd went down with an elbow injury that required Tommy John surgery, and filled in for Chris Sale last week. Now in the bullpen with Danks back off the DL. Facing the top of the Cubs order, 4-2 Northsiders. Strike one.
Santiago, having worked in the rotation, stretched out a little bit. We'll see how much Robin Ventura asks of him this afternoon. A lot will depend on what the situation is when his spot in the lineup comes up.
Pulled to right. Base hit. Leadoff single for DeJesus.
DeJesus out for the second time this afternoon. You remember he started the bottom of the first, hitting a deep fly to left that was misplayed by Viciedo. Went for a double. He scored the Cubs' first run.
For a ball on Castro.
Santiago likes his changeup too against right-handed hitters. He's fastball, slider, cutter, and changeup.
Didn't get a chance to mention this with the rain out last night. Sad news in baseball. Louis Yoakum, renowned sports surgeon, passing away at age 66. He was the Angels team orthopedist for 36 years. Died on Saturday after battling liver cancer. Jordan Zimmerman of the Nationals quoted saying, "I wouldn't be here without him." Fixed a lot of guys and done a lot for the game of baseball.
Think about it. Maybe there should be a medical wing of the Hall of Fame for guys like Frank Jobe,
James Andrews, Louis Yoakum. Yoakum was from Chicago to Western Illinois University, a doctorate from University of Illinois. Swing and a miss. Castro's out.
The only thing worse than the swing was the pitch. Neck high changeup, and Starlin does Santiago a big favor.
Rizzo knocked in a run in the first on a fielder's choice. 0 for 2 in the game, and he takes a strike. A breaking ball. Hector Santiago, he throws a screwball. Right there. Caught by Rios, 2 outs. MLB.com at bat is the #1 source for live baseball everywhere you go. Available for iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. At bat delivers Cubs baseball with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, news, highlights, and more. Text at bat to 31826 or visit Cubs.com for details.
Digging in there to get that, what we believe to be a screwball grip. It's a changeup. It looks like a circle change grip. And he's really, those guys that, yeah, see how he really turns it over. I mean, pitchers, anytime you throw a pitch, you're going to pronate. Your hand is going to rotate that way ultimately. But with a screwball, and you're really exaggerating it.
Did you ever mess around even just playing catch?
No.
Trying to pretend you were Fernando or something?
To me, it's a very stressful pitch.
Probably why a lot of guys don't throw it.
See how it works over the top of the ball and then turns it over. That's a great look at it. Super slow mo.
So you were accused maybe of being one, but you were never accused of throwing one. Is that the best way to put it?
Exactly right.
One to Soriano. He pops shallow right center. This is Rios to end the inning. Leadoff single, no runs. Takes us to the 6th. Feldman back to work, leading 4-2.
Hi, I'm Jan. Welcome to Toyota.
We're looking for a car with great MPG.
You've come at the right time. It's our Toyota Time sales event.
I remember from my research that Toyota is the most fuel-efficient full-line automaker.
You're right. Great memory.
I never forget anything.
You can say that again. Whoops.
Don't miss big Memorial Day savings, like 0% APR for 60 months on a new 2013 Prius, or lease a Prius for $209 a month and get $500 down payment assistance. Toyota, let's go places.
She's always been able to brighten your day. It's just her way. But your erectile dysfunction? That could be a question of blood flow. Cialis Tadalafil for daily use helps you be ready anytime the moment's right. You can be more confident in your ability to be ready. And the same Cialis is the only daily ED tablet approved to treat ED and symptoms of BPH, like needing to go frequently or urgently. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions and medications and ask if your heart is healthy enough for sexual activity. Do not take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Do not drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, or if you have any allergic reactions such as rash, hives, swelling of the lips, tongue, or throat, or difficulty breathing or swallowing, stop taking Cialis and get medical help right away. Ask your doctor about Cialis for daily use and a 30-tablet free trial.
Tonight, don't miss Sports Talk Live on Comcast Sportsnet. David Kaplan leads a roundtable on the day's hottest topics, interviews Chicago's biggest stars, and interacts with you, the viewer. Sports Talk Live, presented by Captain Morgan. Tonight at 5:30 on Comcast Sportsnet.
Tonight at 5:30, join Dave Kaplan for the latest edition of Sports Talk Live, presented by Captain Morgan. Get set for tonight's huge Game 7 at the United Center as Cap welcomes Sun-Times writers Mark Lazarus and Rick Morrissey to the panel. Don't miss Sports Talk Live tonight at 5:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. I'm dreaming missing that.
Talking about this game and the big Game 7 later tonight as Adam Dunn takes a curve for a strike. Cubs over shift on their infield toward the right, but actually playing him a bit the other way in the outfield. You see DeJesus shaded a few steps toward left center. Cutters up and in, 1-1. Carlos Villanueva up in the bullpen as Feldman's ready for his 90th pitch of the afternoon. Here it comes. Low.
So far, Adam Dunn has really had a hard time with Feldman today. 2 trips to the plate, punched out swinging both times, and just didn't look comfortable in the box either time.
Adam got a 4-year deal prior to 2011. This is year 3 of that contract. Pitch. Full count. He's seen a lot of those in his career. Swing and a miss. He has struck out all 3 times.
Good breaking ball here by Feldman to finish him off. See the tight spin as it comes in on plane and then just drops sharply out of the zone. The hitter has so little time to react. They see the ball out of the hand and they have just a split second to make a decision whether to offer or not.
Chris Bosio out to talk things over with Viciedo coming up.
That curveball that Feldman throws is a good sharp one, so it's a tough read for a hitter. You know, pitching coaches talk about guys who have a hump in their curveball. So a hitter sees it, they see the ball kind of go up out of the pitcher's hand. Pretty easy to recognize that one. That's a breaking ball. I can stay back and either lay off or just wait on it. But when it's sharp out of the hand like that, you don't see that hump. Hitter sees fastball.
Curveball in there on Viciedo. Cubs looking for their 3rd in a row after losing 6 straight. Have not trailed this week. 7-0 the win Monday night, leading 4-2 today.
Diamondbacks come in for the weekend and then off to Southern California for just a couple of games with the Angels, and then a chance at redemption. The next homestand will feature the Pirates for 3 and then the Reds for 4. Those teams have been beating up on the Cubs so far this year.
Make sure it's a Cueto Garza matchup one of those days again. Viciedo strikes out, 7 for Feldman. Hey, it's Sun Protection Day when the Cubs take on the Diamondbacks this Sunday, June 2nd at 1:20 here at Wrigley Field. And the first 5,000 children 13 and younger will receive a Sun Safety shirt presented by PSPF and AAD. Then after the game, the first 1,000 kids will have the opportunity to run the bases. For more info or to purchase tickets, go to Cubs.com.
And Matthew McConaughey out there?
Want to know on Gillespie.
Glad you had that one. Sun safety shirt. Might have been problematic for me. It's taken me half an hour to get through that.
Just have to take it slowly.
I started doing this back in '97 thinking, you mean I got to read?
Well, that was part of the program.
What's the deal? Well, 101 pitches, maybe nearing the end of his afternoon. But finishing with striking out the side if indeed it is his last inning.
This is a season high in strikeouts with 7. Check that. He had the 12 against San Diego. Second most he's had.
He's had no problems here at Wrigley Field. A ballpark that has a reputation of being a real hitter's park, and it's, you know, everyone knows it's kind of schizophrenic. Some days it is, some days it isn't. But regardless of the weather, Feldman's been really good here. He's got a 1.33 ERA at Wrigley this year coming into play today.
I don't think it's fundamentally a pitcher's day. Right-handed hitters maybe helped a little bit. Hasn't hurt Navarro. He's hit 2 home runs. They go up and in on the 2-2. Pounded on the ground. And the White Sox go down in order. Bottom of the 6th with the Cubs leading their Southside neighbors 4-2.
It's your first time here, and 80% of the bar is staring at you. Good thing you invited Tommy, who triples your street cred. You order 3 Modelo Especials, earning 7